Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another studio vlog. This little time lapse is my first attempt at throwing some mugs from some weighed out balls of clay. So all of the balls of clay were the same weight, and I was trying to make a batch of mugs. I believe there were 8 mugs, maybe 7, I can't remember, and I was trying to make them all the same size, same shape, so that I could then let them dry out and make some mug handles. So this was pretty exciting for me, my first time kind of trying out making a batch of ceramics, and yeah, I was kind of getting into the hang of things, and it's definitely hard to kind of get used to throwing things exactly the same, especially without having like a ruler, or I've forgotten what those ceramic like tools are where you can kind of like position this thing on your wheel. I'll have to get one of those at some point for sure. Whatever they're called, some of you might know. Without one of those, so just going by eye and just going by based off the previous ones I had thrown and sort of like holding them up for comparison. But anyways, how are you guys doing? I hope you're having a good day. This summer has been so nice to spend some time in my studio, just refining my practice, getting things stocked up, and working towards my shop opening on my website. As of me recording the voiceover for this video, my shop website is now live. If you would like to go check out my stuff, the link is in my bio. There's a lot of different things on there: ceramics, prints, zines, tote bags, stickers, that kind of thing. So if that's kind of your thing, feel free to go check out my stuff. There's not a huge amount of ceramics that I've been making in this video just because I'm waiting on firing, so stay tuned for that. I'm definitely going to be working towards getting those things up and ready on the shop in September for sure, but I do have a big market coming up at the Hepworth in Wakefield, which is a gallery space, and they're hosting the Harvest Festival. So this is going to be one of my biggest markets yet, aside from having taken part in Thought Bubble in the past. So I'm sort of trying to get lots of stock made for that, lots of ceramic pieces, a mix of kind of like decorative and functional homeware sort of pieces, as well as my usual sort of like prints, screen prints, risos, linos, digital prints, and also my zines, which I will be selling at the Harvest Festival. So yeah, I'm super excited for that. It is mid-September. So these are the mug bases that I threw on down there, and this one here as well. I'm pretty happy with they're relatively similar. They're not perfect, but yeah, pretty happy. So on this day, once I had finished throwing the mug bases, I decided I wanted to have a go with some larger weights of clay, just to kind of have a bit of a practice throwing larger, and just seeing what I could do. I always like to kind of finish off a throwing session with doing something a little bit more experimental. So in this case, I was bringing the walls up quite high. I think I was going for a vase sort of shape. As you guys know, I have been trying my very best to get better at throwing taller and colouring up, but also shaping my pieces once I'm happy with kind of like the base sort of shape that you get from centering and then pulling up your walls. But yeah, it's all a work in progress. I'm still practicing, but I was pretty happy with this cute little vase. I can't remember if I ended up turning that into a jug or if I kept it as a vase. I honestly cannot remember. Throwing bigger is definitely a lot more tiring than throwing smaller. You just have a lot more clay on the wheel. You've got to bring that up and center it. It's definitely something that I am trying to get better at. As you'll see with me throwing bigger at the moment, a lot of excess clay comes off, so it does actually end up being quite a small bit of clay in the end. This is a plant pot. This one I was actually super proud of. I thought I did a decent job at that one, and yeah, I think I added some handles to it later on, which is pretty awesome. And then for this next piece, I keep thinking back to how I would love to make some beautiful, beautiful pasta bowls for me and my partner. So I'm like absolutely determined to make some of these. Now you'll see very shortly that this bowl does not go as planned. I think I pulled the walls out too quickly and too thinly, and it ended up just going sploot. So I tried to rescue the tiny bit of clay that was left in order to make a sort of mug base, I believe this was in the end. And this is the rest of the stuff. These are all those mugs, but I also made this little vase thing. This is kind of like a plant pot, and then I don't know what happened here. This is an absolute tragedy. I may have to recycle that. But yeah, it's been a very productive day. Lots of glazing, lots of throwing. I still have these things to bisque fire as well. My favorite is this tiny little espresso cup. And this is more of like a, hopefully kind of average size mug, I guess. I'm like really struggling to remember about like the shrinkage rates. So these are going to be absolutely tiny when they come out eventually. Here's me showing off my ceramic shelves. I'm super happy with them, and I honestly can't thank my partner, my father-in-law and my brother-in-law for making these. Anyways, on to the next part of the video. The next day after I'd thrown all of my pots, I came back when they were leather hard to start trimming them. I find the process of trimming super relaxing. I love watching the ribbons of clay just fall off the pot. The reason why you trim once it's leather hard is because it's like the ideal sort of stage that the clay's in to work with. It's super soft, but still strong enough to kind of like hold its shape. And it's so that you can sort of get rid of any imperfections and critically put the foot of the pot or the vase or whatever you're making on the bottom, because you can't do this when you're throwing it directly on the wheel. I don't know why I started using a metal tool here. I actually really hate working with those. I tend to find the loop tools way easier to work with when it comes to trimming. They're just kind of like my favorite tools. I think definitely in the near future I'm going to invest in some better quality tools. These were the set of tools that came with the wheel actually when I ordered it, so they aren't the best quality, but they do the job, and they've kind of like held up until now. This was the plant pot that I trimmed. I was really happy with it, and I'm super excited to decorate that one with some funky patterns. And these are my mugs, sort of like halfway through trimming. I wanted to make sure that the mugs were relatively similar in the sort of like in the trimming stage, so that they looked like they were part of a set. Even though I'd thrown them all with the same sort of like lump of clay, the weight of clay, they did actually end up looking a bit different. So in the trimming stage of this, you can kind of like make them look a little bit more uniform in a sense, whether that's sort of like reshaping the walls, putting in the same type of foot on the bottom. It is the stage where you can make them look a little bit more similar. There's still going to be some imperfections and some wonkiness about them, but I was trying my very best, as this was my first time making a collection of objects, as I was saying. I've been thinking a lot about also maybe investing in a maker's mark, so a stamp that I can use to stamp the base of my pieces, just to kind of like add a bit of extra branding to the bottom, rather than always like scribing my initials very wonkily in the bottom at the moment, but that is all to come. I don't really have a huge amount of disposable income for the business at the moment, so I'm just kind of making do with what I can. And yeah, I was pretty happy with how these mugs came out. Here they all are, looking cute. And now it is time to make some handles. This particular day I had a lot of handles to make for those mugs that you saw just now, and also some of my other pieces like jugs and planters and that kind of thing. So I needed to make quite a lot of handles. Whilst I'm watching this back, my technique is very weird. I have been watching a little bit of Brett Woolk, if you guys know him. He's a ceramicist and I think his videos are awesome. He does some really nice ones about how to pull handles, and since watching this video back and reflecting on it now, I definitely think I'm gonna have a go at his technique of using kind of like a longer bit of clay rather than just like a big massive lump here, because it clearly was not working very well for me. But anyway, lots of stuff to learn still. I keep forgetting that I need to just be kinder to myself. I'm still just a beginner in ceramics, only been doing it on and off for kind of the past 2 years, but properly since getting the studio. So I just need to slow down a little bit and accept that things take time, and I will get better. I will improve. Here's me adding a handle to what I was calling a vase. I believe I then decided to make it into a jug when I was attaching this handle, because it looked like it was the perfect sort of shape and size for that. I do really enjoy making the handles, although I'm not very good at it just yet. I do find it quite relaxing just kind of sitting on the floor, rip my back of my studio, just kind of like working it in, smoothing it out and stuff. I quite like this little jug, it's cute, maybe for gravy or something, I don't know, it's probably not big enough for custard. Here's all the mugs with the handles. They look super cute. I'm really happy with how they came out. These ones kind of needed a little bit of extra support whilst they were drying. But there's the jug and the undescript pot and the plant pot. So yeah, after spending a lot of time doing pottery, I decided it was time to try and get my screens working. In the previous video you saw me coating the screens, but this was me exposing them and trying to get my design onto them. Now, I will say that this process has been extremely frustrating to try and get right. I've been trying to play around with different exposure times, but things haven't been working great. As I was sort of like wiping away this design, I knew that it hadn't worked out. I think the exposure time was just about right, but as I explained just now, you'll see what else I did wrong.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna try this again, because can you see it's like kind of fuzzy and these are like really crisp. I didn't put any kind of like weight on top. I think I have some plastic that I could use for next time, and it's just not coming off like at all in these bits, so I'm gonna use my stencil strip and get this off because I don't have a power washer, and go from there. Probably try again.
This is just part of the process of setting up your own DIY screen printing at home. It can be a little bit frustrating if you don't have all of the tools that you need for this, such as like a hose or even a power washer to strip the screens. So I use something called Stencil Strip, which is an environmentally safe iodine-based mineral salt. I'm reading off the product, as you can tell. But this is just a sort of chemical that dissolves the emulsion, and it doesn't require you to have access to a hose or power wash, as I was saying. So it's not the best in the thicker areas of the emulsion, but it does the job, and it means that I can do it out of this big tub that I now use as my screen washing area. So you'll see that there's a lot of blue water that I then have to change out to the clean water just to make sure I've definitely got all of the emulsion and the chemical off, and I'll try again next time. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you'd like to check out my online shop, the link is in my bio, and I'll see you next time.